Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and today I just wanted to make a quick video on a couple of updates with Girls Frontline. The first one being that I'd seen on Reddit, and some people had told me that there is potential for some collabs coming up here in the future for Girls Frontline 2, as well as some story improvements that they mentioned for 2025 within Girls Frontline. So with the collabs, they are saying that it could be potentially Stellar Blade and Nikke, and you can kind of look at the statements they had here, which this is going to be translated based on what they said in these statements. And so someone asked them, can they share any hints about collaborations in the future? And they can't reveal any specific plans yet. But they like the game Stellar Blade and moved deeply this year and positively considering a collaboration with the shooting game. So while it's mentioned Stellar Blade is one being liked, they mentioned collaboration with a shooting game, which makes sense being that Girls Frontline 2 is a tactical game where they're using guns. So you're going to want to bring in units or characters that are going to be actively using guns themselves that can kind of fit within that environment. Now, I've never played Stellar Blade, so I don't know much about that, or Nikke for that example as well. But just because they stated Stellar Blade doesn't mean that it would have to be a Stellar Blade collab. It could be anything that's like a gun related collab. That just might be the one, and maybe that could have been a name he posted or stated just to kind of throw off people on what's coming up, because they want to probably keep it as a surprise. You never know. So there's the potential for that. And then there was more in there also. They're working on refining and improved synergy amongst the team. There's arrangement of the design and a subsequent storyline. So the directional adjustments and how it connects everything, which includes the existing games, which includes the main series and the bakery storyline, which is the one on Steam that I kind of want to do a playthrough of that on stream. The big thing is just finding the time, because I've got so much content to do in all the gacha games. It's hard to kind of do a standalone game, but I'm quite interested in trying to play that Steam game, the remake of that one, because it takes place in the future of the current game. It's kind of isolated to its own storyline, but it looks pretty interesting since it is in the Girls Frontline universe. And so they asked if there's any plans for that, and they can talk about. So he talked about it briefly. He wasn't satisfied with the story or content delivery. There are still many areas they want to improve, and I think a lot of that can be starting with the beginning, because we understand the story and kind of the events revolving around it in the beginning were not as good. Like for global, for us, we've only had like 2 major events as well as kind of a short section of the story so far. And that was where I think there was a lot of feedback. And then we've seen the more improved one that we had with that first one with Ulrid and that. And then we have the newest one with Macchiato, which is kind of short and to the point on that one, a little simple. So I think not only that, but also the main quest they're looking to improve on in the future, because that was a heavy feedback item that they've been working on through the year, and we've just kind of already gotten a taste of that initially on global. So it sounds like they are looking to make it even better here in the future. And so they have a highly ambitious year, whether major events or side activities will be more closely aligned with the main storyline, telling an ambitious story. So the big thing is that he is saying that he's going to personally take over the lead of the overall story, working in close collaboration with the restructured writing team. So I don't know much about how their whole team is structured there, but it does seem like maybe they had moved around a little bit in a way where he wasn't directly involved as much, and so the direction went in a way that he didn't like, and so he's decided he's going to just come in and get back in there to try and help give a better direction, stating pass on the experience to the creative writing team so they can craft next year's story in a way that better aligns with Girls Frontline on the foundation. Since the main storyline's content delivery will exceed this year's, it will be accompanied by an event planning from the design team leaning towards aligning the story's themes and injecting more depth into content. So having seen already the improvements that they must have made, because I found at the very beginning, like just the start of Girls Frontline, I actually found the storyline to be pretty good. Got me involved with it. The event with Suomi and Ulrid was really, really good. Macchiato's a little bit not as good, but still a decent story aside of that. And usually in gacha games, I don't pay heavily attention to the story, so just getting me to actually pay attention and actually have to read, because this is not translated to like other games I play, like Wuthering Waves or HSR and that. just kind of tells me how good it is in their whole entire atmosphere and lore of the environment of the game. So I'm excited to see kind of where they go with the direction on that. That's the kind of big thing I seen with this Reddit post. Then one little thing I wanted to add at the end is kind of an update that we just had with the game. It's kind of a correction that I think a lot of people learned as soon as the Gunsmoke Frontline had ended. One thing you want to notice, if I go back in here, the main thing that a lot of platoons were aiming for, and the reason that we were kind of a lot of my group was included, we're doing 3 hits, was to try and get into that top 1%, top 100, and get those medals. Well, the big thing is it didn't make it clear here. It's saying that these are, we all thought they were personal medals that would go with you as a title, so you can get it, and then maybe if you want to leave and move to another guild or platoon or something, but instead they're actually attached to the platoon themselves. And so when you have the little statuses that you can have for what kind of platoon you are, you're able to select these as items for it. So instead of saying like, in ours we had like active and a couple others, now I just changed it to all the medals that was like the top 100, top 1%, and top 10% medals. So we'll kind of have to see if they evolve that at any point, but I mean, at least you still get the maximum rewards there. Just know if you're looking for those medals that they are not personal, they are attached to the platoon themselves. So if you were to leave the platoon and go to another one, that platoon is going to be what has the medals, not yourself. So a little bit of a negative there, which makes it less likely for people to care as much about it. I mean, it was never really a big deal in the first place because it was just kind of a cosmetic. And with how many platoons they are, just getting enough for that top 5%, which is super easy currently, that top 5% is going to get you the max rewards and stuff that actually matters. So that's just a quick update there on that. But other than that, we had the update. We've got all the stuff seems to be working good. The events are going quite well in the game. And so I'm excited to see where they go with this collabs, because I haven't really been involved in a collab in a gacha game in quite a long time. Because when I came back in, I think it was like almost 2 years ago when HSR came out, that's kind of when I got back into gacha games. And none of the games I've been playing have had a collab at this point yet. So with that, we'll just kind of have to see where they go and what direction they take with this, because I'm already really liking the game. So I'm hoping they can bring in somebody that, some group that's pretty cool. One thing that I was kind of thinking, I don't know how heavily they use guns within it, because I've actually never watched the anime, but I do like the figures, and a lot of the figures behind me are from it, which is Evangelion. I've won a lot of them at round 1. Through the crane games there, but I would think something with them would be pretty cool, but I don't think they are heavily involved with guns too much to the point that they could easily bring them in. But I don't know, I think they'd be cool and they would kind of fit in the environment, at least the way they look. So we're just gonna have to see with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But if you like my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.